February the 17th, the first day of the uprising in Benghazi. Unarmed protesters faced Gaddafi soldiers firing indiscriminately into the crowd. They tried to retaliate, throwing rocks. A soldier spots a protester hiding behind a tree. He orders him to stand and then kneel before firing over his head. Then, as the cameraman pulls away, the sound of gunfire. The protester is next seen lying on the ground as a soldier is kicking him. We're told he had been shot dead. We can't verify if this is true. It's the start of 3 terrifying days for the people in this city. Government troops moved through neighborhoods, searching buildings, stealing provisions and torching cars. This is the main square in Burqa, close to the Katiba army base. Soldiers rounded people up and took them away, even young boys and old men. People took to the streets to protest. It turned ugly.
The Katiba men came into the street. They started shooting at everybody, even those up on the balconies, shooting randomly. They killed at least 3 people here.
This residential square is usually a place to socialise, even kick a football around. But for those few days in February, it became something much more sinister. People say they were peacefully demonstrating here when Gaddafi's troops stormed into the square, firing indiscriminately. They fled to the local mosque, but the troops came in and dragged people away, threatening to rape or execute them. And one man, according to neighbours, was left dying on the streets.
Mohammed Awada was a 40-year-old studio photographer. It was hours before his neighbours could retrieve his body. In the square today, people talked of their treatment at the hands of Gaddafi's men, how the soldiers had thrown petrol on them and threatened to kill them.
They threatened us with rape. In front of the Katiba, they got us to lie down and handcuffed and blindfolded us. Inside, they told us to look down. There was blood everywhere. You could smell it.
They were fortunate. Protesters stormed the Katiba and set them free. Dalila Talad Idrisi fears her son won't be so lucky. Yesser, a market stall holder in Tripoli, was offered money to fight for Gaddafi. When he refused, he was taken away. That was 2 weeks ago.
Someone called me to ask if I was pro-Gaddafi. I said, no, I'm with the rebels. Would you sacrifice the most precious thing in your life? And I said, yes, I would. Then yesterday I was told my son had been taken.
She calls for her son not to be afraid, as the rebels from the east are coming to save him. But as the anti-government forces retreat further and further east, such a rescue looks a long way away. Sue Turton, Al Jazeera, Benghazi.